Hi, Jordan Long here, and today I want to talk about money in the bank or Weregild in the box. Now, we all know that box is a borrowed word, but it sounds like fox, so how can it be borrowed? But then again, power and water sound alike, and power is a European Italic French borrowed word, so it is what it is. Anyway, so about money in the bank or Weregild in the box or whatever you want to call it. There isn't any other thing for it. You know, ever since it was started in 2005 80, there was always, there's two ways of doing it. One of the first two ways it usually is two wrestlers usually say when they're going to cash it in. Now, this has not been the case with all the other winners over the years. They pretty much just cast it in after their foe, because it was their foe, was beaten up or had lost in another wrestling fight and they'd come in and sneak it in. It always would be like this. I'm gonna cash it in. And then after that, the opponent, the other wrestler would be like out of it or beat up or something. You go like smack them or you'd kick them or something, and next thing you know, you'd be going 1, 2, 3, and then you'd be the new WWE heavyweight champion or world heavyweight champion before it was retired, or now WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion since it was brought back. Now, a lot of men and women out there say that everyone who won Money in the Bank did it that same way. Not true. Rob Van Dam was the only Money in the Bank winner to ever tell his foe, I guess you could call John Cena his foe if you wanted to, when he was going to cash it in. Everybody else from Edge to now has all been sneaky about when they cash in their Money in the Banks, usually after their wrestler had been beat up or something. Now, a lot of men and women out there are going to say that the TNA got something and that they call it the TNA's got it, and that why do that? I don't know. The TNA's got one called Brief Win or Fired. Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe IW does got one, but IW's one was basically a hybrid between the pink flip on a pole match that was normally just a one-time thing, I believe. But it was WWE that first came up with the Money in the Bank win first. So even though IW can claim they did a lot of things first, they can't claim they did that first. But that's not the part of it. The point is that, and everybody wonders that there actually is, a document or paper or parchment. They're all borrowed words in it. I don't know. And it's always like this. And in the contracting, it's like, I'm gonna cash this in on you. And you don't know when, you don't know how. Oh, I know when, I know how, I'll see it coming. I have eyes in the back of my head. And then when it happens, when the cash in happens, and there's only been a handful of wrestlers who have never been able to successfully cash it in. Mr. Kennedy, who had gotten besmirched at the time, so he could not cash it in. And there are only two wrestlers to ever cash it in but not win their wrestling fights was Damien Sandow and Baron Corbin. But the idea of being sneaky about it, about picking the right storyline, picking the right bind to do it. A lot of times heels will do this more often than faces will. Now, some men and women out there might say, I know faces that do it. Well, faces don't normally do it that much. It's mostly heels that tend to do it. Faces tend to not do it as much, but heels tend to do it more. But that's how the booking is. Oh shit. Well, there's nothing in here. See? After I played around and got them snaps to come off, there's nothing in it. And now I gotta see if I can put it back together. Oh, don't tell me that. Yeah, it goes back together then. Alright. So there's nothing in there. But Money in the Bank is a very cool, very good win. You know, I know that everybody else, every other wrestling business does it now, or has some variation on it. IW's gonna claim that they did it first, but really they didn't do it first. In this rare case, they actually didn't do it first. It was WWE that did that Money in the Bank or Weregild in the Box or whatever you want to call it thing first before they did. And sometimes they usually can work the opposite way. The foe could come and be like this. Oh, Jordan's out. Bang! Look. She got it. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Megan or Morgana. She's the new TWF Women's Heavyweight Champion. You know? So it can work either way. So that's it for me. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.